Hi, this is Lauren Lavera from Terrifier 2, and you're watching Mr. Death Breath.
Hey guys, my buddy Steven from Geek Out Cinema is doing his directorial film debut. Go and support the page, message him, get 15% off by using the code MRDB. Go buy a shirt, digital copy, anything that helps fund his project. I look forward to seeing what he's doing. In addition, he also does raffles, so check them out. Tony Collette pictures, Christian Bale pictures, all signed. This guy's incredible talent, insanely talented. I can't wait to see what he does. Get on the ground floor and support this film.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Lauren Lavera. You may know her from Terrifier 2. She's one of the leads. She's the girl that's breathing heavy. She fights Art the Clown in Terrifier 2. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on. Okay, so that trailer, oh my gosh, that scene, just that one scene, like, that looks so good. Like, I don't know what you were thinking, and I want to definitely dive deep into that, but there's that scene where you're standing there and you're just like, and David Howard Thorne was just like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, ah.
Yeah, Dave's great. Oh my God, he's amazing.
Huh?
Dave is amazing. No, it's very easy to be afraid of him. So
he's a very nice guy. Okay, so you're a martial artist. I've seen some really impressive videos. You're standing there at the Muay Thai bag and you're doing rights and lefts and you're just alternating back and forth, and it's absolutely impressive. So that being said, how long have you been training martial arts?
it is going on 19 years now. So my whole life I've been doing it. I was obsessed with it. I really loved Bruce Lee growing up, and I was like, I want to meet him and I want to work with him. Little did I know he had already passed, and it was like the world's worst loss in the world. So when I found out that he was no longer with us, I literally cried. I cried more than actual people in my life because I love Bruce Lee so much. So he was a big inspiration to me, and he made me want to start doing it.
So what are you trained in specifically?
Oh my God, a lot. So I started with Taekwondo,
Okay.
and that's probably what I'm most proficient in and what I kind of always go back to, which is a little bit more acrobatic. It's like a lot more flowy movements and more pretty. But I also trained Kun Khmer, which is a Cambodian form of martial arts, which is beautiful, and it's an ancient, deadly form, as well as Muay Thai, which is very similar to Kun Khmer, which might be more of the video that you saw. I also teach kickboxing because I love to yell at people and I love to train with people. So I do that. I trained wushu and kung fu with my friend Drew, who's amazing at it, as well as my friend Justin and Brandon, who are all stunt performers. So we all kind of interchange our martial arts. Like my friend Justin, he trains capoeira, and I've learned some things from him. So I kind of dip my toes into everything. I love it. So I try to learn as much as possible.
So what I just heard you say is I'm a complete badass, and if Art the Clown was real, you'd kick the living crap out of him. That's what I got out of that. Like, I don't even know why you're afraid. Like, you're just telling me that you can murk him. But close your eyes and just take him out.
Listen, I think it's one thing knowing the techniques. I was in it more for the art. I don't really like more for the art. I don't really like fighting too much. I'm not much of a fighter, but I do love the beauty that comes along with martial arts. I think it's a gorgeous thing to witness. So that's really why I do it. I don't like getting into fights, so I don't know how I would be if a real Art the Clown came up to me. Hopefully my reflexes would take over, but I don't know. But thank you for thinking I'm a badass.
Just a New York like crackhead bum that wears a clown suit. I mean, come on, be real. I'm nice to get it because I love jiu-jitsu. I love it so much, and I enjoy Muay Thai, but I just love jiu-jitsu because it's one thing to see it, but then when you're doing it, it's a whole other thing, you know. And there's that disparity between I'm this big tough guy and this kid's 16 years old and he dropped me on my ass and choked me out. And just knowing that, you know, skilled versus unskilled doesn't matter age or strength or anything. It's all irrelevant when it comes to that.
Yes,
and I love it.
I also have experience in jiu-jitsu, and I think every woman or small person should learn it because it's really using your opponent's body weight against them. And it's these techniques that you should learn. And if you ever do get in these situations, hopefully most people won't get in those situations, but I absolutely agree.
So you were an Iron Fist.
I was, yes.
How much of your awesome abilities, your 19 years of badass experience, did you get to showcase in Iron Fist?
Well, when I auditioned for the role, I was in this tiny like very small casting office in New York, and I auditioned for the part. I did my lines and everything, and they were like, "Okay, why don't you do some of your martial arts?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm here. I want to show off my stuff." And I did it. I did like a whole like couple-minute form and thing, and they loved it, and they were like, "Okay, you'll be hearing from us." So I felt good, and I was excited to find out that I got the part, and I was expecting to do martial arts. I was expecting to do stunts and martial arts, but they ended up not doing it. They just wanted me to be a principal speaking role, and I was like,
Oh,
"Listen, I know what I'm doing. Like, I can do this." And they're like, "No, no, no. Like, we don't need you to." And I was like, "What?" I was pretty upset. I wanted to do more martial arts because it is a show that really displays martial arts.
yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember hearing about, I think it was a Nightmare on Elm Street 5, where the guy fights Invisible Freddy, and he said that he trained martial arts for 6 months, and he had everything down, like all these like roundhouse kicks and hooks and Superman punches, all these really impressive moves. And they're like, "Yeah, we just want you to throw hooks."
I really truly believe that stunt coordinators should be in the room when people are editing because they know better than anybody how to showcase their talent. So I agree with that. That's a
Yeah, and
good.
I was trying to think in Japan and all the Chinese movies when they do them, they spend weeks upon weeks focusing on fight scenes. You
Yeah.
know, and then in America we get like that Jason Bourne Part 3 scene where it's all camera shake and it's all up close. It's a shame. I love watching fight scenes. I love mixed martial arts. So this leads me into my next question. So prior to auditioning for Terrifier 2, did you know anything about it? Were you a fan of it? Are you even a fan of horror movies?
I love horror movies. I grew up on horror. I think one of the first horror movies I saw was Poltergeist, and I must have been an infant, and I loved it, and I still watch it. I wasn't too scared of it as a kid. I don't know why, but the older I get, I'm like, oh, this is kind of creepy. Like I didn't. I guess my little brain couldn't figure what was happening in front of me. I did. I was aware of Terrifier. I was aware of it before I auditioned. I had a lot of people tell me like years, months before I auditioned, like, you gotta watch this movie, it's so good, you'll really appreciate it. And I was like, yeah, I will. I just never got around to it. I'm the type of person that likes to rewatch the same things over and over. It takes me a while to trust new things and trust new movies. I wish I had. But yeah, but when I had auditioned, I started doing a self-tape, and I did that right here. I hadn't seen the movie yet, and then I got the call back. So I was like, okay, I hadn't seen the movie, and I still got the call back, so maybe I should continue not watching the movie, because maybe if I do watch it, I might have preconceived notions on what I should do. Maybe it'll cloud my mind. Maybe I'll make the wrong choice. So I'll continue not to watch it. So I didn't watch it until Damien told me that I had booked it in my in-person audition where I had some chemistry reads with a couple of the other actors. He was like, have you seen it? I was like, no, I'm going to watch it tonight though. And I did watch it that night. And then I watched it a couple times after that, and I really enjoyed it. I was in awe with what Damien could achieve with so little. He did a
Yeah.
fantastic job. Yeah.
That one scene though, like it's so masterfully set, because I remember I almost turned off the movie because I felt so repulsed. You know that one scene I'm talking about with the girl hanging upside down. And it's funny. I watched it again, and you don't see anything, but it's just so well shot. It's horribly awful. But it's a great movie. Just that scene, you know.
Oh yeah, and I heard Catherine, who's the actress you're talking about, was a real trooper doing that. So she was a real trooper. It wasn't easy. So she was such a sport, and I love hearing that. I was like, yeah, badass, do it. So yeah, they always talk about that, and I really appreciate it when I can hear badass females, really sticking to it and working hard in very extreme situations. So yeah.
So what's the audition process like
What was it like? Okay.
for Terrifying 2 specifically? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I'll actually share something with you that I haven't shared with a lot of people, and I might have told Damien this. I don't know if I had, but when I had found out about the audition, I read the breakdown, and the breakdown is basically the description of the character for anybody who's watching who doesn't know what that is. It's what the casting director sends your agent, what your agent sends you. It tells you the age range, it tells you the characteristics of the character. And when I had read it, I was like, I don't think I'm this person. So I sent it to a friend of mine. And I was like, hey, I'm about to audition for this. You should audition for it too, because I think you would be more likely to be cast for it. And she's a good friend of mine. Her name's Jessica Day. She's a great actress. And I'm not actually sure if she did audition for it. But I was very surprised when I got the call back. Again, I had done the self-tape first. And then I got the call back again, and I did another self-tape, which again was done here. And then Damien was like, okay, we're going to need you to come in tomorrow. Here are your scenes. This was like at midnight the night before, so I didn't have a lot of time to look at the scenes. Here's your scenes. You're going to be reading with a couple other actors. You're going to be doing some chemistry reads. And I was like, okay, great. So I was a little nervous because I didn't have a substantial amount of time to memorize my lines and to really dive into it. I had met with Damien and also Samantha Scafidi, who was in the first one. I was really excited to meet her, who was incredible. I absolutely love her. She's one of the coolest people you could ever meet. And I did some chemistry reads with a couple actresses who were reading for the role of Allie. And then I had also done a chemistry read with Elliot Falloum, who actually plays Jonathan Shaw, my little brother in the movie.
Yeah, little punk people. That kid is so cool.
Isn't he cool? He's the coolest.
He's so talented. I mean, that kid's awesome. Like, I've watched his videos. He's awesome. You're awesome, dude. Keep it up.
He's awesome. He's so mature for his age too. And if you were to ever meet his parents, you would understand why he's the coolest kid ever, because they are the coolest parents anybody could ever ask for. Daniela and Justin, shout out to them. I absolutely love them. They've become like family to me. They're incredible people. And as soon as I met Elliot, as soon as I saw him, I was like, this is it. This is the kid. Like, he's definitely going to cast for this. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole process. And then Damien told me that day, he was like, well, you got the part. And I was like, cool. And that was it.
So I have to ask, obviously, say what you can, but being the accomplished martial artist you are, did you get to incorporate anything? Because, I mean, it seems like you're the final girl, but not in like the, oh no kind of way, more like the Sarah Connor Terminator 2 type of way. That's the vibe I'm catching from your character.
Wow.
Maybe less shotguns, maybe more fists and kicks. I don't know. I mean, do you get to be a badass that I'm hoping you are in this movie?
Thank you for putting me in the same sentence with Sarah Connor. Wow. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there are definitely some movies that Damien wanted me to watch. She wanted me to watch a lot of badass final girls, and Terminator was one of them that he really wanted.
God, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, so I was happy. He also sent me an article recently that had said that Sienna was very Sarah Connor-esque, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe people are saying that. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Chills still thinking about it. But I can't tell you too much about what the techniques I've used, so I'm not going to give that away. What I can say is that because of my martial arts experience, because of the people I know through my martial arts, and a lot of them are stunt performers, I did the majority of my own stunts. I did every stunt except 2. And again, those 2 stunts I wanted to do, but Damien didn't want me. And my stunt performer was amazing. Her Instagram is Bad at a Helmuth, and she did a couple other stunts, and she was great. I absolutely loved her. But with that experience, I learned mainly how to pretend to take a hit, because when you see Art or Dave throwing me around in the scenes, a lot of that, he's holding me, but I'm doing it.
Oh, wow.
I'm the one throwing myself into it. And of course, Dave is just the nicest, most gentlest person. He did not want to hurt me. And every 5 seconds, he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, dude, I'm fine. Like, you can make it. You can do it. But I was doing it myself, mainly because if you are the one being attacked in a film, you have to do most of the work. You have to kind of guide the person on what works for your body. So I can tell you that my martial arts experience was absolutely beneficial for the things you've already seen in the trailer. I'm not going to give anything else away. Yeah. But yeah, Sienna's definitely a badass, and I can say that with my martial arts experience, they were definitely used in some way, shape, or form.
That's good to know. Okay, so I want to address this one before I move too far out. So what can you tell us about your character? Like, if you can essentially, you know what? How about this? If you can give us like the breakdown version of your character, just to have a little more context. That trailer just left me pining for more. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I can't remember exactly what the breakdown said in the audition. I'm sure I could find it, but I don't want to waste time. So yeah, she's a 17-year-old high school student who suffered a great loss. and she suffers at the hands of a maniacal clown, and that's pretty much what I was told. I was also told that she was going through some things. She is finding herself, so she does have a beautiful arc in the film, which is every actor's dream, like having an arc laid out for you, like, wow, the journey's there. And I did my own research and interpretations. I'm sure Damien was so annoyed with me because when I found out I got the part, I was like, listen, dude, I'm going to text you, call you all the time. I'm going to have a lot of questions. I do extensive research for every character I take on. I try to make a backstory from her favorite color to where she was born to more broader concepts. I really try to make all the decisions in the beginning so I can have room to play when we're in the scene. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As much as I can give away, but she, again, is an insecure teenager who finds herself. She plays a, I don't know if I can use this word, but she plays kind of a pivotal role in Art's life.
Too many spoilers. I'm just kidding. No, I love it. I love it.
They're connected in some strange way, so I can say, yeah.
Okay, so this is like a weird question because I want to kind of like say one, not say the other. So we're just gonna see how this goes. Okay. Did you have any difficult scenes? And can you tell us about the scene in the trailer? Just I can't get over that scene. Like it's just like you understand. Like naturally when I see a sequel, I watch it very skeptically, right? Because I mean, for every like Terminator 2, there's Avengers Endgame, and you guys hate me all you want, but it's just inferior to Infinity War. Period. So it's just one of those things where it doesn't always cut the mustard, right? It doesn't always do as well as the first one. So were there any difficult scenes, and what was that scene like? Because that scene is so intense. Like you just see so much. Like you're just like frozen in fear, breathing heavy, and you evoke so much motion that comes off the screen that I take as a viewer that blows me away. It's just like, wow, like what's going on in her head?
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah,
well, okay. I will say that maybe not every, but majority of scenes were very, very, very difficult. There was something I wanted to say that you mentioned, but I can't think of it right now. But anyway, let's just talk about the scene. That scene in particular. So you have to understand, we were in very extreme situations when we were filming. It was dingy. It was disgusting. I was on a disgusting floor. Like it was truly disgusting. And we were exhausted. We were filming into the night, into the morning, crazy, crazy hours of shooting. And I tried to use that energy. And I'm the type of person, like even with Dave, like I'm like, Dave, you can throw me. Like it's totally cool. Like you can use it. I like to feel a little bit of what's happening to me. Some people might call that extreme, but I like doing that. I like feeling a little bit of pain. I like feeling the exhaustion. And I think it all really worked because I was truly feeling those emotions. One thing my incredible acting coach, Brian Fox, told me, like, acting shouldn't be acting. It should be being. It should be truly feeling, because if you see someone acting, that's not an effective actor. You want to see someone truly feeling emotions. And people take it to the extremes. I know Joaquin Phoenix, he's like, crazy but amazing. He takes it
amazing,
yeah but he's amazing and I respect him wholeheartedly. And I try to do the same thing. I try to really feel. So in that moment I was truly uncomfortable and I was truly fearing for my life. So I really appreciate you mentioning that. So thank you so much. And of course, looking at Dave as Art is terrifying, and I am terrified of clowns, like truly terrified. As soon as Dave like takes out his teeth, and as soon as he puts those Q-tips, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but he has Q-tips up his nose to stop the running of his nose, because it was cold in there, and it was freezing every day we shot. So as soon as he does that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's Dave. But as soon as he like gets into character, and he's very good, he's very good at manipulating his body, and I think everybody can agree that he's very good at that. And as soon as I see that, I'm like, oh shit, this is getting real. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I had the privilege of interviewing him a couple years ago, and he's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh,
he's really great.
I watched a lot of your stuff. I love your videos, but I did not get to see that. So please send that
That's
to me.
back there. That's like 2 years ago. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching my stuff. I was gonna tell you, you saying how you feeling the pain, you feeling a little bit of pressure. That takes me back to thinking about another Joker, one of my favorite Joker performances, if not the best, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I heard that him and Christian Bale, he would tell him, "Hit me as hard as you can," and get him in the role, and that's incredible because I mean that just shows your level of commitment and how talented you are as a professional. That you're willing to take it to that level to put yourself in that mindset. And much respect and praise to you for that. That's incredible.
Thank you, and I absolutely agree. Heath Ledger is amazing. I would love to hear Dave's. I mean, we talk about the Joker sometimes because he's
Did you
great
see
at
the
it.
video? He did the he's standing on a stage and he's doing the Mark Hamill Joker.
Oh yeah,
It's like, man, like,
I'm pretty sure Mark Hamill like endorsed him like on Twitter or something. I'm pretty
oh,
sure he was like, yeah, make this guy be the Joker, and I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not making that up. I'm pretty sure Dave told me that, but I'll look into it.
I'm not sure he deserves it. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy's incredible. He's the nicest guy. And then he's like the stuff of nightmares in your closet at 2 a.m. when you're trying to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Okay, so there was so much praise and drive behind the original Terrifier. Like it just became this thing where everyone was just like, yes, like it came out of nowhere. It started off as like a little thing and it just became this like almost like a slasher revival phenomenon out of nowhere. So did you feel pressure to perform being in the sequel? Did you feel that pressure? How did that affect you?
I'm trying to think back. I'm sure there was some pressure. I'd actually mentioned in a recent interview that right after I found out I got the part, me, Damien, and Dave, we all went out to eat, and they were like kind of explaining to me the the gargantuan effect that Terrifier has given to people, and I kind of already knew that, and how big of a role Sienna's going to play. So I was like, oh shit, like this is getting real, like this is crazy. So yes and no, because both Damien especially, and Dave really made me feel comfortable, and it just felt like a job that I really wanted to do more than anything. It was more excitement, I think. So any of the nerves kind of turned into excitement over time because I was just driven by these people. And like I said, especially Damien, because he works incredibly hard. He has his hands in every aspect of the film. He had some departments like dropping out 2 weeks before we were supposed to film, like special effects departments, and he was just left with doing it all. And he somehow stays calm, cool, and collected throughout. It's an uphill battle for all of us, especially him, but he continues to remain just cool as a cucumber. And seeing him do that, I'm like, all right, I can do this. If he can do this, I can do this too. So he inspires all of us on set. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Seems like a good captain of the ship. Like they say, the captain's good and all the deckhands will perform amazingly.
Absolutely. And you know what? He hates when I do this, but I sometimes call him boss. I'm like, you got it, boss. And he's like, no, collaborative experience. It's collaborative. And he truly works in a collaborative way. But I try to refer to him as boss because he truly deserves that title. And he's like, no, we're all in this together. I'm like, okay. So, yeah.
It's fantastic, especially in this industry. People just tend to have so many egos. It's strange.
Nobody on set had an ego. Nobody.
Wow.
Especially Damien. But absolutely nobody. The entire cast and crew really put their hearts and soul, and I really hope that you'll be able to see that when the film comes out, because everybody put everything into it. So I'm very excited for people to witness that.
Okay, so what other projects do you have coming up, excluding Terrifier 2? What's next? What is Lauren Lavera doing next?
Well, I did have a film lined up. I don't know. I'm actually not sure if I can talk about it. We were supposed to start filming back in April, and I was actually in Canajoharie, New York, filming Terrifier 2 when I found out that they had to push it back indefinitely. We were in Canajoharie filming when we found out the pandemic was happening in like early mid-March, and I got that email. They're like, we're pushing this film back indefinitely. Again, I'm not sure. I think it might be on my IMDb, but I'm not entirely sure if I can talk about it. And I also have some other projects I'm working with friends that, again, I can't really talk about, and also because they're all being pushed back. So I promise that I will keep people updated. And I try to do that on my socials, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter. So I will keep people posted, but I can't really talk about them. Sorry.
Okay, so no worries. So we're rounding up to the final two questions. One question I just thought about right now is, how do you feel knowing that this is going to change the trajectory of what you do? Like for instance, like Felice Rose, you had the pleasure of working with her, right? Fantastic. Okay, David Howard Thornton, he became an overnight horror icon overnight. Or like Bonnie Aarons, she just wore some face mask and she became the nun, and she's like your grandma now if you talk to her. She's amazing, and now she's this amazing character. And now you are very much going to be the Tommy Jarvis, if you will, of Terrifier 2. For those who don't know, Tommy Jarvis Part 6, he fought Jason. He's the blonde handsome guy that had a shotty. But anyway, so you are very much that the anti-villain. You're the hero, and now you're going to be at conventions and you're going to be taking photos and having these great opportunities. Do you feel that excitement? How do you feel about that? The horror community is embracing you already. How do you feel?
I can't even tell you how wonderful the horror. I mean, I'm sure you know, but the horror community, it's just packed with wonderful people. I have not met a person that hasn't been the epitome of wonderful. Every time I meet someone, and again, on the set of Terrifier 2, we did have a lot of people in the horror community that donated to the film to get it created, and they earned parts in the film because of it. They were all amazing. I still keep in contact with them. I try to talk to them as much as possible, and they're the type of people that go to cons, and they got me very excited about cons. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. So I've never actually been to a con, but Dave, yeah, I hear. I'm very excited. And Elliot as well. I was hanging out with Elliot, Justin, and Daniela's parents the other night, and they were telling me about cons and how much fun it's going to be, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait. So people have told me, they like, oh my God, you're going to be a new horror icon. And that it's such a heavy statement. I'm like, let's take it by ear. Let's see what happens. I sure hope that's the truth. And I sure hope that, and Damien swears by it, and so does they both swear by it. But I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm just trying to focus on doing the project, giving it my all. And hopefully people love Sienna as much as I do, because I truly 100% fully love her. So I hope people take to her as much as I did when I read the script. And even when I read the breakdown, I thought she was incredible, so much so that I didn't even think I could play her. So yeah, I'm trying not to think about it, to answer your question.
I'm sure everyone's going to love Sienna, especially after seeing this interview with you. Like everything you put into it and your honesty and the way you're just addressing everything, it just, like, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I already like love your character just because of what you're bringing to it. I just love your dedication to it. It's fantastic. Okay, I have to ask a question. Is the movie done?
It's not. We do have, I actually went to set the other day. I wanted to be there for Elliot's last day, the kid who's playing my little brother. I just wanted to be there.
People.
Yeah, little punk people, right?
His name is so cool. And he's a little. That's perfect.
I know. So I love the fact that he has that YouTube channel. He's really great. But yeah, I was there the other day, and I had like asked Damien and Phil, our producer, and the guys on Fuzz in the Lens, Michael, Jason, and Steve. I was like, so guys, what do you think? Like, you think we'll get it done soon? And they're like, we still have a couple more days, but they're very hard days. I have one more day as well that I need to work on. So I'm not done, but just one more day. But for me, but they still have more. It's not done yet, but they're hoping to be done by September, which is cutting it very close to Halloween. So we don't know what's going to happen. The quarantine and the pandemic has really pushed us back. It's pushed every production back. So, but we're lucky to still be working right now. So yeah, we're not done, but hopefully soon.
Okay, so I guess like maybe a 2021 release date, possibly.
We're hoping before that. We're hoping. They're really working very vigilantly and very hard to get it done as quickly as possible. I'm constantly bugging Damien. I'm like, when do you think it'll be done? When do you think that? And yeah, it's so funny because fans are doing it too, and I've just become that person. I'm like, when's it gonna be done? Because I'm as much of a fan as everybody else. And he's like, calm down, we're figuring it out. And he does the editing. I don't know if people know that, but he does and he edited the trailer by himself, and he sent it. I know. I was so impressed. He sent it to me every step of the way. He's like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I gave my 2 cents, and it's same as Dave. Dave gave a couple. I think it was Dave's idea to add the wave, actually. So and I love that. Yeah. So I don't know if, I mean, Damien, of course, understands the character better than anybody, but so does Dave. They both truly understand art. So it's fun to watch them collaborate and work together to make art come to life. But yeah, so Damien's really working on everything, truly. So hopefully he'll have time to do all the prosthetic. He's really doing everything: prosthetics, editing, stuff like that.
Yeah, he's
So,
a makeup artist too, I understand, right?
yeah, he started off that way. He started off doing special effects, and he's incredible at it. So yeah, he really does it all. So hopefully it'll be done soon. Hopefully.
Thank you so much for your time, Lauren. You're amazing, guys. Find her on Instagram, Lauren Lavera, correct?
At Lauren Lavera. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.